we covered Nashville's mayor's race as comprehensively, I believe, as anyone on radio or even perhaps on television. We had several individuals that were running. Remember, hey, Belle, remember the good old days when we had Heidi Campbell on and we were nice to her? Back when she was running for mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Before you invited her to leave?
Before I invited her to leave the show? That's right. We had Alice Rowley on. We had Freddie O'Connell on.
Had Freddie on a few times since he got elected.
Yeah, we believe it or not. Well, we need to schedule him to come back on again because I have some new news regarding an issue that was very present during the mayor's race involving the Nashville Fairgrounds, more specifically the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It was not that long ago, just over a decade ago, that this community, long before I got here, the city of Nashville, Davidson County at large, voted on what to do with the racetrack at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And overwhelmingly, it was decided, I think it was over 70% of the vote, it was decided that the citizens of this community wanted to continue the tradition of racing that has been going on at that track since 1904. Now, I predicted to you that John Ingram, who is the principal owner of the Nashville Soccer Club, was actively trying to take over that portion of the fairgrounds and use it for his own purposes. And now we have evidence that this move is afoot, and they are trying to do this as we speak. Now, this is a local issue. I understand that. And maybe some of you out in Wilson County or Murray County or Rutherford or what, maybe you don't feel like it's your issue, but it is. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's also maybe going to seem like a very specific issue regarding those who like racing or those who like motorsports more generally. Let me tell you, this is more than just that. It's about keeping those things within your community that have been here for so long, that have become a part of the cultural identity of the city of Nashville in Nashville. I know it all too well. And I said it at the time that we first brought this up, that once you lose these one-off type things, you lose them forever. There's never any going back. And already we've lost too much in the city of Nashville, haven't we? Haven't we? I mean, you think about, and look, I've only been here for 2.5 years thereabouts. But I know from personal experience in my time in Birmingham, Alabama, and before that, my time growing up in Georgia, that once you lose these things, they're gone. And all you have left are memories and lamentations. The memories of what was, and you lament what could have been. Opryland is the best example of what I'm talking about, folks. And it could have been so much worse. Opryland is an example of what happens when these things go poof in the middle of the night, and there's nothing to be done about it. There are some positive examples of things that almost went poof in the city of Nashville that were somehow saved. I wasn't here at the time. I don't know the intimate details of how they were saved, but I know that they were saved. The Ryman Auditorium is one of them. It is difficult to imagine, but history has written this love story about the Ryman Auditorium. And in the historical record of the love story that is a part of the Ryman Auditorium, it is a fact that there was a big-time consideration to tear it down. Tell me I'm wrong. In the late 1980s, as downtown had digressed and fallen into disrepair, as the downtown area of Nashville, I don't have to tell you because some of you lived through it. I did not. It was a bunch of peep shows and empty storefronts and maybe a bar here or there. And thanks to a lot of very important people, not the least of which was Emmylou Harris, it's my understanding, the Ryman Auditorium was saved, and a foundation was created, and money was raised, and look at it now, the mother church of country music. 8335 writes in and says the Ernest Tubb Record Shop is apparently being turned into a bar. Actually, what I was told, and I was a part of the push, I know Brian Wilson talked about this as well. I talked about it on my radio show. Others spoke on it. As that building was sold, David McCormick sold that building, but we were told because of a pushback within the community that it would not be degraded beyond its current disrepair, and that at very least the building frontage would be preserved in its current state to preserve the history of the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. And Renee says Ricky Skaggs had something to do, along with Emmylou Harris, with the saving of the Ryman, and I'm sure he did. And I don't want to take anything away from Ricky. The point is this. There were inflection points in time where we could decide as a community which direction we were going to go. And so often it is the case that out-of-town developers or money people come into town and they don't have any respect for the history of the community. They just want to build something new and different that's going to make them a lot of money. And you know what? Making money is not a bad thing, but not at the sacrifice of the city's history, the fabric of the community. I'll give you another example. Fort Negley. Was it not the case? Y'all tell me. Was it not the case that they were going to destroy Fort Negley and build condominiums on the property that Fort Negley's currently, Fort Negley's been there since the Civil War, for goodness sake. Now, I understand they built that Discovery Center, that Adventure Center right in front of Fort Negley, right at the base of it. But what I've been told by Alice Rowley and others, and I think Alice Rowley was instrumental in helping protect Fort Negley, that there was development that was going to come in and just destroy it. Well, now we come to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Despite a vote to insist that racing continue at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway some 12 or so years ago, there was a letter written on January 31st, 2024, this year, not a month ago. It was written to Austin Kyle, the clerk at the Metro Courthouse of the Metropolitan Government of Davidson County. And it is a letter requesting an amendment to the charter of the city of Nashville and the Metro government charter pursuant to section 19.03 of the charter of the Metro government of Nashville and Davidson County. We, the undersigned registered voters of Nashville and Davidson County, hereby seek to initiate an amendment to the charter by petition. Specifically, we seek to amend section 11.602D of the charter relative to the function and duty of the Metro Board of Fair Commissioners as required. Below is information to initiate the amendment. Number 1, title of the proposed amendment: adding affordable housing and removing auto racing from the list of required activities at the Nashville Fairgrounds. In other words, proceedings have begun, and I am here to tell you these proceedings are being led by John Ingram, who lied to this community when he promoted his new stadium for soccer. He lied to the people of this city. He lied to you, and he lied to every person listening to him when he said he was supportive of auto racing, and he's trying to destroy auto racing in this community, and he's just trying to destroy the fabric of this community that's been in existence since 1904. And he's doing it through Kenneth Bird and Heidi Basgall, who were the undersigned on this letter. But it's Ingram's people that are doing this. Now, you cannot give one rip about auto racing, and that's fine. You can give not one rip about the fairgrounds. That's fine, too. And if you want a billionaire to lie to the people of this community so that he could get his stadium, claiming that he wanted the fairgrounds to exist and he wanted the speedway to exist. And by the way, John Ingram's welcome to come on this show and explain to me how he's not lying. And I'm welcome to hear. And And I will retract everything. I will call it all back if he makes an explanation that makes sense to me. Nashville's got a decision to make. This is just an opening of the conversation. The decision is simple. Do you want a billionaire to destroy what's been around since 1904 to build, quote, affordable housing on that property? Or are you willing to do something to save it? By the way, there's still a proposal to invest $135 million by Bristol Motor Speedway to make improvements to that area, and they want to bring a NASCAR race to this community. They want to bring a NASCAR race to that facility, and they're willing to spend money to do it. It won't cost the taxpayers a single dime to do it. But John Ingram doesn't want it. And where's Freddie O'Connell, the new mayor? Well, hiding? Hiding? Who knows? We'll find out. We'll invite Freddie on to speak his mind on this. Freddie told us that he would have an opinion on it after he studied the proposal. We're still waiting. It's 2:25 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.